Hey guys, Nichols here, and today I'm gonna teach you what I know about repairing cracks on plastic crack. For this procedure, you're gonna need the following materials. Tamiya plastic cement. I would prefer to use thin cement because that tends to melt better than the non-thin one. Small bits of plastic, preferably the same color as the part that you're going to repair. You can get this plastic from nubs or even old runners. And you're also gonna need a glass or metal container where you would put the plastic and the cement when we're gonna mix them later on. And some sandpaper or sanding sponges. One with a rough grit and another with a fine grit. First, mix the plastic bits into the cement. I would suggest you use bits that aren't too big but aren't too small either. It's better if the bits are just the right size to fill the crack of the part that you're going to repair. If the part you're trying to repair goes on top of another part, I suggest you put them together when you apply the first layer. Doing so will help you ensure that you're putting just the right amount to fill the crack. And once you think you've estimated the size of the crack, you can remove the part from the other. After applying the preliminary layer, you can add more cement to further melt the bits, and you can also flatten the bits using a toothpick. If you look at the back, you can see that the crack has been filled, so yeah, it looks like it's working so far. And as you apply the cemented bits, you can also do some preliminary cleanup. If you see some excess cement coming out of the back, you can always remove that with a toothpick or a hobby knife if you'd prefer it that way. Once you're satisfied, wait for an hour or two for it to dry. I think an hour would be enough if you're using thin cement, but I think the longer you wait, the better. I mean, you can do many different things while waiting for it to dry. You can play games, watch some hentai, it's up to you really. Or you can do something productive like working out, right? And while you're waiting, you can actually test if it fits the part, just to be safe, and yeah, in my case it does fit very well. And after the melted plastic has completely dried, you can begin sanding. The first round of sanding. Use a rough grit sandpaper or sanding sponge, or whatever sanding tool you have. You can also shave some of the plastic off with a hobby knife. Keep doing these things until you think the surface is flat enough. I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% flat, but just kind of flat will do. And if there are still gaps on the surface, put another layer of the cement plastic mix. But it doesn't have to be as thick as the first layer. Wait for it to dry a second time and then sand it again with a rough grit sandpaper until it's flat. And then switch to a fine grit sandpaper to make the surface smoother. And there we go, we have filled the gap and now the part has been repaired. You can keep adding more layers of the cement plastic mix if you're still not satisfied with the result. You can keep doing that cycle until you're satisfied. In my case, I do plan to paint this afterward, so even though it's not perfect, I think I can say I'm satisfied with the results of mine. So yeah, that's about it. I hope I helped you repair your crack on your plastic crack. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. You all have a nice day.